After a brutal stomp, I have to be very honest with you. I don't know if it's going to get any better by now. And the reason why I'm saying this. Paradox. They're playing with two stand-ins. Decided to play Mirage because of personal comfort, beaten Rooster and Atletico on it. The matter of fact, though, the sample size for Order is a bigger, to put it like that. Rounds 1, 245, 68% win rate for the Order squad here on Mirage. Sounds promising for a 2-0, and if you're an Order fan, you'd be fine with that. I'm sure Paradox has something to say about that. And so they come closer and closer to the B side, trying to overrun him. That works. Chubster has to say goodnight. Through the smoke, it's absolutely nasty. Well, they'll plant it, and this puts now pressure on those CTs. It's Alistair. Oh, he doesn't want to peek in. He's going to do it anyway. And Hands. Does he have the support of his teammate? Yes, he does. It's all just working out fine. Order have one more to take down. Noobster looked for the bench player, but failed in the end. And that means 1-0. Order on the T sites. And I got my doubts, very honestly. I mean, it sounds harsh, right? But what do the odds say? Okay. So if you want to make big bugs, you know where to go right now. Either way, CT falling down. Kingfish has done a brilliant job. The Deagles are striking, and the awareness of Order could be called debatable. Tensei with 2 frags, which were just so abnormally good that now situation starts to get a little sinister for Order. Most of the Paradox player got no armor. Nevertheless, the situation doesn't look any better. Chubster and his crew are just outstanding individuals with that Deagle in hand. But Alistair got to hold it down on his own. The opponents got legitimately 0 defuse kits. And the last man, 34 HP. All down to Alistair to now make it work. And he finds a shot not once. Actually, he does, but nevertheless, gonna work for Paradox, instantly bouncing back, which is a bit of a surprise to me. Wouldn't have thought that would work that easy, but alright.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
And so, looks quite decent for Paradox, gotta say that. For starting the aces at least. As harsh as it might sound, they might just get already more rounds than the previous matchup right here. In Order with only the 2 weapons they have left. I got my doubts. I think those are actually well justified doubts. Order with the follow-up going back to the AKs. Or more likely entering the AKs first. And individual speaking, when we talk about the previous match again, it was Inns who came out with a 2.05 rated, 128 ADR on him, 136 on Hats. Absolutely nutty. Absolutely insane. And maybe they can continue that performance now that aggression starts to rise over on the side of B. Oh, it is. There it goes. Finds one, but too many players all around. As though they can prevail to some degree. Alistair and co, I think they might need to readjust their game plan once they have the proper weapons, because it doesn't seem like the B side is the best way to go. Paradox has fortified that quite well. Alistair waits and waits and waits. Oh, this is so brilliant. I mean, the patience, how it paid off. He just waited until finally anyone from bench would peek out. That worked. Paradox now only send one player over on B, and that would be Tensei. Now he's identified. He's known, and only one man can take him down. It's not going to work, though. Free HP onto Imagine. Oh, this was for the wall or something. He needs to die, though. Detonate. Good night. See you, Imagine. And here comes Paradox with the third. To go in the right direction. That's good. It would be nice to see Paradox actually delivering a real massive fight.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Again, it's the map pick of Paradox. But statistically speaking, considering we take an entire map sample size, which is a little bigger, let's say around 5 or 10, Paradox doesn't have this sample size. Whilst, and that is the thing, whilst Order played a lot of MDL on it. And Paradox core lineup in the MDL is just one slot underneath Order. They're amazing. They're simply amazing. In the meantime, a clear shutdown coming in. Nothing much to talk about. Hats gonna be eliminated. And that's so saddening. Paradox core roster has delivered a 7-1 win-lose over in the MDL of Australia. Therefore getting the third place. And for me personally, this is just a brilliant result, showing national dominance. And if you're wondering, this is a close qualifier where the finalist, and the winner of the final, of course, will make it to the Asian minor, fighting for a slot in the major. So as Imagine and Co. consider taking control again. There they come, slowly approaching the site. Over short, they also now do the split, which seems to work. Seth takes down the last man who's actively holding the site. And Noobster gonna be flanked. Imagine coming in right when needed. And that round is over. Paradox, who are on a decent streak, now need to accept that defeat is coming their way, at least for the moment. What's nice to see, actually, is that this lineup of Order exists for a while now. The most recent addition is Zeph. Just previous to that, Inns joined together with Elma Putty, who's their coach. And I actually enjoy that to see, because a guy like Imagine is in the roster for such a long time by now. Joined January 2018. Same with hats. So Chubster and Co. They once more trying to hold down a bit better. And in the end for the smoke there, it works brilliantly, denying any further access, though Imagine gets a beautiful shot. Ince is going to be the last man standing. It would be so nice for Ince to have the ball on his back. He has already controlled the entire B side by now. Is in his hands, and Noobster must have the read anytime soon that he could flank around. As I say this, Ince is coming dangerously close, and I just hope he's going to keep up his patience. Can't. Kingfisher was looking somewhat in that direction. Needs to find another two. Whilst he flashes himself, the time is ticking low, and therefore need to be some fast actions over on the sides. That's not going to be the case. Paradox with the 5th. CT side is where they somewhat can prevail at the moment. And actually, the comment from 2Tap Tony, I do 100% understand, and I do actually agree with you. As though I'm casting this, I do 100% agree with you that it would be probably, especially for the Australian crowd, or viewers to put it that way, very enjoyable. So you do have my understanding on that. And it's a very legit argument. But unfortunately, I can't change it. Either way, that has been hurt. Short under control again. Imagine moves through, and as he moves through, the entire control belongs to Order again. And it wouldn't make sense really to try to retake this, especially with that one we've seen, the wallets. Paradox, hardly anything left. So they do themselves the favor of saving up, especially the AWP to be a pivotal tool in the future. Which is a little weird to see that he stays alone then. I mean, the angle he holds I understand, but that nobody is with him in case so he can refrag and pick up the weapon is a little odd to me personally. Talking about exactly that. He hits and strikes. That was extremely important, because otherwise that $4,750 tool would be down the drain. Order accumulating a bit of money by now. FAMAS. We're sticking to the FAMAS. Okay then. Let's see to which side they lean. First of all, it's the mid approach coming in, setting up two players in front of A. And I liked pretty much what Paradox did most of the time with the B side holds. Talking about that, the aggression of Prackham only works to some degree, but one frag is already an amazing job, considering that now everything in front of B, the entire apartments belong to Kingfisher. Noobster helped them out there massively with getting the frag. And yet again, I'm a little bit surprised how Order collapses that early on. So then Noobster's up. Takes another. Perfect to hold the middle off course, no doubt about it. Order, I don't see them turning this one around anytime soon. Though, I mean, I think what you're allowed to be worried about is if Alistair gets over short. He does that. Back on site, it's only UMP awaiting him. That is going to be Kingfisher. Hoping to find a frag anytime soon. The problem I see is the AWP back in window. Can't do much. Hats need to react to it, and he does. He's dinged. But nevertheless, that bomb's going to hit the ground, and this means only Chubster to now turn this one in favor of Paradox. And it would be just absolutely devastating if Paradox lose this round, because then they'll be basically economically reset. He knows about one bench player. Alistar moves around, and they try to play it as smart as possible. They do so. A beautiful angle from Hats that gives Order the fourth, and I shouldn't have said previously that they're not going to take this round. Proving me wrong. Politely blocking each other. No, you go first. No, you go first. Anyway, aim practice for Imagine started. Aim practice works. Knows about one lower player. Huh? I could only take down 3. Was nice to watch his personal aim practice though. Should try to slap the AK out of the hands of noobsters anytime soon. Don't really want to see them save up anything. And I mean, yet again, the only economy you really see flourish is the one of Alistair and the one of Hats. As they survived the previous rounds. So, the hunt started, Zeph reads the right, and so Noobster... Uh-oh. This could end badly, but he's just on the other side, and nobody thought he would be there. And so, though, it's Zeph coming around, he goes down ramp. And he's the bait. And that bait works. Tied up we are. Order already looking sharp and good. Paradox is back. They had some extremely good B-side setups, but this time Order is just going full speed, left lane autobahn. Big mistake, it seems to be. And so the player on side has found Noobster. This is now his personal practice as he goes out aggressive, swings wide, and takes down another. The triple goes in his way. But the CT smoke should deny further access. The boost is there. Chubster, his feet must be spotted, and is... What? He didn't even react to it. I'm quite sure he saw the feet of one of the Paradox players. Nevertheless, that's the way it goes. All right, then. An aggression of Order. I mean, it was a brute force on the A side. No smokes, no flashes, nothing. And I love the comment. Paradox is good at CS as a Paradox. Not because of the meaning of it, but very nice wordplay there. Shout out. Anytime. That's a great play from the AK coming in, trying to take the site. As no hats. Can he dodge the flames? No, they spread. And that means Tensei could have a major say in this, but not for too long. Bomb's gonna hit the ground.
Bomb has been planted.
And B, it's the main objective here. First one coming out will be the Yogg. Preckham looking to get a little more. I mean, he plays it close. Perfect flashback could then make it work. Talking about it. Hats is down. And Paradox can all pat the shoulder of Preckham as he seals the deal for them for round number 7. Unbelievably.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
This order wants to deny the half going in way off Paradox. I mean, with their buy, you could call it debatable. Debatable for a good reason. Preckham once more added. Again, combination with Noobster gives them all the control they need. And so it is the first half going their way. Quickly taking a look at the scoreboard, we see Noobster just out of this world. 17-6 after 14 rounds. 143 ADR. Massive damage dealt. And what's very nice to see is then the utility game of both Imagine and Alistair. As funny-wise, if I'm not totally wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There has so far been no break, no timeout. Preckham. It's gonna be the man. Could once more hold perfect control, but it's connected where he fails. That means only Buller left alive. That last order player can probably not deny round number 9, and Noobster looked like it was the head, gets it into the chest somehow. An order with every single dollar they have in their bank account. They'll probably try their best to then get it rolling. Well, Tech, CZ, UMP, Khalil. And it's now they hope. Oh, the triple nades! Absolutely disgusting mortar fire coming down middle, and nobody expected that one to come in. Worked out fine, and now the boost seems immediate. That is the case. Imagine makes it through, grabs the op, but in the meantime he peeks out so wide that he's going to be taken out, and Preckham can just dodge the bullets. Survive another day? Yes, indeed. And that B-side fairly open right now. This fairly open site most likely to be taken by order. Player goes for underpass. Both got a kit, so they can spend a bit more time on it. I'm not sure if Order would have the read on it. Not quite sure if they realize What's about to happen? Bomb is ticking faster, pressure's getting higher, and Hats, he hears them. In combination with his teammate, it is the 9-6 coming their way. Workable, definitely workable. On the City side, you can most definitely turn this around with Mirage if your game plan is good enough for it. And I wouldn't say that Order does not have the capability to do so. I would honestly be a little bit surprised, I have to say that, if this goes on the third map. And not because of any disrespect to Paradox, the matter of fact that you play with two stand-ins most likely will not open up any great gates. And as it goes, In's gonna find the first, the high ground. Absolutely abused. And that's poor Kingfisher looking to do any damage anymore. Is he even going to take down one? No, not going to be the case. Brilliant. So, no real issue coming the way. Well, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. I knew the moment I said it, things turned sour. Watch out. Come on. Please support my thesis, but nope, that's not happening. Ah, there we go. Chopster is trying to help me out with this one. Nevertheless, one player with armor, wounded down to half HP. And this is where my belief is telling me this shouldn't, and I say shouldn't, go the way of Paradox. But Counter-Strike proves me wrong on a regular basis. And as I say this, exactly at millisecond, Chupster dies, Snoopster to be the last man to turn things around. Here's him jumping. Huh? Did he identify him? Yeah, seems like it. Seems like Imagine saw him, and that means no real chance for poor Noobster to turn this one around. He has the UMP, technically speaking, but rather sticks to the Deagle. Understandable choice. Don't get me wrong. UMP 45. There it reigns supreme. Nasty one. Upgrade to the AUG, and so things might get a little more realistic. But then it's 1 HP. When things started looking good, it's 1 HP. Unfortunate for Noobster, as he collapses over here on the way to B. That is still somewhat possible. Noobster comes close. You have to be somewhat intimidated when you hear all those AUGs nearby. Thought it could be working, but now we're tied up. Now we're back at it again, and now we might see Order bounce back entirely, though it is the point in time where the big guns are coming out for Paradox. And of course, this is a bit unfortunate to see in case it really comes only down to Noobster. That's the thing you don't really want to see when your team only relies on one component. I mean, we see it in the highest levels of CS, it still doesn't make it any better. I'll put it that way. Simple is great, but it doesn't help when the other fours aren't that much of a level. So Chopster tries his best for the smoke, deals good damage onto Haas. And yet again, Paradox has taken a lot of time with their execution. A beautiful flashbang, actually. Very interesting to see. So, though I think the CTs must realize it a lot earlier and turn around. So Kingfisher and Co. They want to do it on the A side. Make it work to some degree as the first player falls. Is the retake possible or not? That is the most important question at the moment. Oh, Kingfisher. How in God's name does he survive that? Now, finally dead. And Alistair and Co, he can just run on the site. This is dangerously close to now getting a working situation for Order as they try to make it work over with the defuse. One pulls through! And it's the man with the kid who does it then in the end. Kraken to be even taken out, and that works. Paradox. Once leaving the bomb unattended. An Order. They're going to see their opponent on a decent weaponry again due to the bomb planted, the losing bonus, and the frags they have done. Paradox, yet again, the A side it's gonna be the mollies raining in. But they should get the access. Or what does Imagine have to say about this? I imagine a lot. Finds two! And the third is granted. He's the sole survivor of the A side who makes it look so easy. SF gets 3 meters tall. Order is on the right track. Paradox has quiet, decent takes. They're looking actually quite good with getting onto the side. The utility usage is fine, but the retakes is where it gets a little gnarly. It could be very well over soon. That would be unfortunate to see because the fight of Paradox they have delivered was quite brilliant. I have to say it like that. Really, it was impressive. And now Ince, cost him to life. Yes, it does. The Arc though, I imagine, not doing much yet. Nate pops deep, puts Noobster in not the most comfortable spot. But it's only 2 individuals to then get the double digits. First frag found. And so the situation looks a little bit more sunny by now. But the Arc, it reigns supreme. Noobster to be the next one behind bench. And the time is ticking. One found. But Alistair through the wall! Absolutely disgusting. And the bomb defuse most likely gonna work. My goodness. Triangulated where he stands behind the bench. Takes him down. And I mean, Paradox will not go broke again anytime soon. In the meantime, we still need to find a round, and this is where it becomes more problematic. It's Kingfisher and Co. This is so brilliant. I mean, Tensei tries, but it was so brilliant in the end until it all collapsed. Order. So unfortunate. Eagles Paradox. Looking so much to do anything about it. And in the end, collapsing. They do collapse.
Counter-terrorists win.
Either way, 9-14. Everything could be told already. Order feels comfortable. And Order starts to feel very strong. Paradox ever since they're actually good CT approach, nothing done yet. No real sign of life. There he goes. One after another coming onto the side. Smalley is not going to do as much as expected, though the jumping AK of Kingfisher is there to reign supreme. 2 kills and a third to get. He knows where Imagine is. Oh, Kingfisher, you play such a pivotal role in this. He's already on the third. And he wants more. The man wants so much more. Order, maybe they lose this round, and due to that, it's going to be double digits for Paradox. We're about to experience that and figure it out. 19, 28, and 52. HP-wise not looking great. It doesn't matter. Alistair will be the last man alive, and he should consider a retreat to be the best possible option. It was a 5 versus 3. And then we're pushing and pushing and pushing. seems like Paradox reactivated their energy. Order still though only needs 2. Only 2. And that could be already it. On the right track for a proper retake. Chopster from behind expected. A perfect read by Imagine. And the CT player is the last one standing. Kingfisher has proven to be a king in the past. Has he played so smart? No, doesn't work. It would have been so beautiful to watch if he now turns this one around. But under no circumstance, under not one circumstance. Paradox losing the first map 1-16 was brutal. I mean, it was basically brutal. No other words can describe it. Now, it could be already the end of the close qualifier for them. Five more chances to get into OT. OT can buy them a chance to win this map and then go on to the third. So nothing is granted yet. Yet again, 60 seconds left. Paradox quite split around. One in front of the B side. Top mid is where Tensale waits. Yet again, a game plan has to be established. Seth patiently waits, looking for anyone to just come around, looking for anyone to just be nearby, and Zeph, therefore, it was so important to wait this out. Saw the first head, not quite sure if the opponent saw him though. Oh, he gets the first. That is now where he strikes. A second is granted. More to come. And Zeph does it in combination with him. So 16-10 is there. We have a team advancing. And therefore, it's going to be order 2-0 in this entire best of 3 series. Very, very unfortunate from Paradox. It is how it is. You can't change it.